Going to my mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. Last night on the television, I was on a telephone rapidly rising and with I don't know. COVID has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's lives reflected in the NHEI. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was on foot in the we're going to seize the ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. NATO's purpose is to defend against aggression. Let me make that near and dear to you that you would like to be able to. Anyway. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. I don't think as the idea that political coverage of I want to thank and recognize Dr. John Kingersong. Good song. I can't get this to function at all. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea.
Hi Giselle hier en ek het vir jou goeie nuus. Namibië, ek kom kuier met 'n paar lekker Giselle konserte en jy's natuurlik genooi na elkeen van hulle toe. My eerste stop is 23 November in Malteje by die Malteje Hotel. Nou luister hier. As jy nog nie by 'n Giselle konsert in Malteje was nie, dan wil ek net vir jou sê, hierdie is een groot lekkerte wat jy nie kan misloop nie. Country roads, take me home. So kontak gerus vir hulle by Malteje Hotel vir jou kaartjies en bring jou vriende en familie saam, bring jou dansskoene en jou kuierskoene en sommer alles saam wat 'n kuier kan lekker maak. You got nowhere to hold 'em, South Africa. Oh, let your foot up, nou die plekkie in die son vir jou en my. Oh, Jan, jy's a legend, jy's a held. Ek sien verskriklik uit om jou daar te sien. Onthou 23 November in Malteje by die Malteje Hotel. Ek sien jou daar. Maar is die dag ons het die skien haas uitweg. My land, ek sing van jou. Cheers.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Mark the date, folks. Mark the date, November 23rd. If you happen to be in Malta, you and 300 other people there in Namibia. Giselle performing live once again. And another tribute to Jan Spies. Boy, those Namibians really love Jan Spies, don't they? I remember she did the song about Jan a couple years ago. Well, she's going back to Namibia performing. Yeah, well, there you go. So another reason for me to come back to South Africa. Scott, are you here? Resubscribe so you can comment and tell me how boring my content is. That was epic yesterday. I really enjoyed that. That was hilarious. For those who weren't here yesterday, Scotty Balson is not dead, as Byron claimed erroneously. He's alive. And Manelisa Jikeka, welcome to you. If I pronounce that incorrectly, my apologies. But yeah, it's Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, no, look, I'm happy to see the guy's alive. I don't wish ill on anyone, and sorry to hear about his vision. It's unfortunate, but boy, wow, what an obsessive nature to watch my watch my streams just to get some content and get some relevance, dude. Anyway, gosh, I tried to give the guy a free pass in 2022, again in 2023, but apparently he just doesn't want to let go. I don't get this. I mean, I actually went on Ronaldo's program before I ever went on his program. So why the attacks on me? I never know. And the thing is back in 2022, Ronaldo egged me on, tried to get me to say something bad about Scott Balson. And I said nothing bad about the asswipe. And then he attacked me. So anyway, all right, let's say hello to everybody and we'll get on to the news here. I've just released a video on the Rabin Figlin situation in George, the municipality of George, folks. And hopefully you'll be able to watch that. Appreciate that. Anyway, let's say hello. Vilma Rasmus, hello to you. Sue Wall says, I have a question. If Joe Biden steps down next month, Harris becomes president. No, it has no effect on the election whatsoever, Sue. It does have an effect on all the merchandise that Donald Trump has been selling for 47. He would now become the 48th president, and Kamala Harris would actually be the president of the United States. It would be unprecedented. It would be a very bad look politically, and I would not put it past the Democrats. They'll do anything for attention. And this would not surprise me that they would try something like that. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Charmaine, Sue, and Renell, Robert De Niro fired by studio. Yeah, where do you see that at? I looked. Is it on Twitter? Because I couldn't find a news story on that. Janet Liddy's here. Christo Ellis is back once again. Sue Walsh, Anne Renell. Hey, Anne Marie. Anne Marie is the person that told me that my original channel disappeared. Never forget that. WhatsApp. Chris, where's your channel? Huh? It's gone. Well, I had a pit in my stomach that day. So, Vilma's here, Eric is here, Gabriel's in from der Schweiz. Na, wie geht's? Servus. Ja, ins Gebirge in der Schweiz. Ja, das gefällt mir sehr ziemlich gut. Also, ich habe immer gute Erlebnisse in der Schweiz gehabt. Ja, besonders im Osten, in der Nähe von Liechtenstein. Das ist ja sehr schön dort. Und auch im Süden, also das Teil, wo man Italienisch spricht, ja, das finde ich auch sehr gut. Und ja, auch kann man auch sagen, Rätoromansch, das ist ja so in der Nähe von Zermatt. Jo. Nee, nicht Zermatt. Wo haben die das blöde World Economic Forum Ding? Ja. Anyway, can't remember. That town over in the east, Switzerland. And Keith Alderson is in from Coventry. Alan Coates is here. Welcome to Jono's back. Hakan Engman in from the Netherlands. Garrett Gillich in from Somerset West. Gus is here. Vilma Erasmus. Mike is in from Pennsylvania. Welcome, Mike. Arc Precision. Eric is here. Who we missed here? Let's see. Mike says, what did Mike say? Mike said something and it just skipped ahead. Where does that chat do that? It's so annoying. Oh, Johannes, he says, wow, she's pretty. Great. Yeah, she speaks English. That's, of course, Giselle from Namibia, from Grootfontein in the northern part of Namibia. Once upon a time, a very important South African Defense Force base. She grew up there, along with her friend, Beata, who happens to be married to Adam Levine from Maroon 5. Yeah, they were best friends growing up. Johannes Vandermeven says, Chris, how's it your side of the world today? Well, okay. I had some trouble sleeping last night and put on some James Bond 007. Watched a little bit of Dr. No. I'll tell you, man, that Ursula Andress, she was a hottie back in the day. Woof, Ursula Andress, the Swedish model. Yeah, come actress. She's still alive, I think, isn't she? But, of course, we've lost Sir. Oh, what's his name there? From Scotland. Yes, he's gone now. Anyway. So I hope Gregor could listen to your response with regard to this report on Game Sunday. Yeah, thank you, Johannes van der Merwe. I actually got a few daggers tossed my way from my commentary. Number one, I was told I don't know what I'm talking about. Number two, somebody who actually likes my commentary said to stop putting words in Gregor's mouth. I don't believe I put words in Gregor's mouth. I reported what and analyzed what was said. I didn't imagine anything. So If that came across that way, my apologies for that. But here's the thing, folks. You're not going to please everybody. Somebody's not going to like it. You can be 100% correct, and somebody will not like it because the topic you took on is too sensitive. It offends them. Listen, I almost didn't do the video because I love Scotland. I root for Scotland when they're not playing South Africa, that is. I root for them when they play Ireland most of the time. And I've also said that I think they'll win the Six Nations this year with this team. Certainly not England, certainly not Wales, and Ireland is inconsistent, so at least France, and they can be beaten by Scotland. Anyway, I almost didn't do the video, and I did the video because I thought it was newsworthy. I mean, he's attacking, and the reason I did it is he makes these comments about officials, but he won't be sanctioned. He won't be sanctioned. Warren Gatlin made those comments about officials. He wasn't sanctioned. But isn't it interesting that Ross Erasmus comments about abysmal officiating in the British and Irish Lions series, and he's sanctioned and blocked from rugby for a year? What a hypocritical organization. The hypocrisy is just amazing, whether it's the Democratic Alliance, the Republicans and Democrats, the Tories, Labor, it doesn't matter. The CDU, hypocrisy among people in power is just really fascinating. Standards for thee and not for me. So yeah, thank you, Johannes. I thought it was a pretty good video, and I thought it was fair. The Springboks did not perform well. Scotland didn't beat South Africa, but they had a chance to snatch a victory, and they failed to do it. They didn't score a single try. And Gregor Townsend acts like the game was lost because of an official. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. That red card resulted in nothing for the Springboks. They didn't take advantage of that. They played poorly. And it didn't take any momentum away Scotland. It had not developed any momentum at that stage. The try that was overturned definitely was a turning point in the game, but it didn't cost Scotland the game. With 65 minutes, they were trailing by 4 points. They could have still won the game easily. But the bomb squad finally got its act together, and they folded like a cheap suit. Good day, Christo. Garrett, welcome to you. Ronaldo says, stop saying that. When did I ask you to say something bad? I told you to avoid him. Yeah, that's initially Ronaldo, but when we were doing our conversations, you were frequently trying to, you're ginning up the story. Come on, be honest, man. Maybe your memories, you are getting a bit up there, a bit of an old toppy, you're forgetting things, but you did try to egg me on. I was very, very careful not to attack the guy because I had no beef with him. I didn't want to get involved in your dispute that he had with you. So until I was in Mossel Bay. And you showed me the video, and I went and watched it where he said it was a CIA agent, e-bagger, and that's not, he didn't say it was a CIA agent then, he said it was an e-bagger, and that's when I lost it. I mean, I spent thousands of dollars out of my pocket that I could have used to buy a new car. Frankly, my car that I'm relying on is 9 years old, and the transmission's been replaced in it once already, and I'm afraid to drive across the country. I want to take a trip across America right now. Right now. In the fall would have been perfect. Now it's a little bit late. I want to do it in October. But, I'm not going to go with that car. And I'm not going to rent a car, and I'm not, it's going to cost me a fortune. So, I could have used that money on that trip to purchase a new car. It would have been enough to get started on a car. But I came to South Africa in 2022 because thousands of people asked for me to do it. And I actually have an affinity for South Africa, so I said, let's do it. And it was an incredible tour, meeting incredible people. The one low light was little Scotty Balson running his mouth, lying about me and making false claims. I've been very transparent about that trip, about what it cost me, about not who, because that's private. Not everybody wants to share, who donated. In fact, one of the benefactors, I think, unfortunately, has passed away. But that benefactor paid for 3 of my nights in lodging. I paid for 2. He paid for 3. And most of the other nights, people provided a combination. I stayed with Ruthie. I stayed with a lot of people on that trip. So, yeah. Anyway, so bystanders shared Ronaldo's latest video. Well, please share mine. Yes, I know, Eric, if you say Beetlejuice 3 times, Beetlejuice shows up. If Kamala gets to be president, how do you stop her from dropping all types of crap? Well, you can't, Garrett. You can't do anything about it. But contrary to what the Washington Post and New York Times claims, one of them wrote and said executive orders carry the weight of law. They do not. They do not. That needs to be challenged in court. And that's the problem. They're not challenging. Executive order does not apply to the country. The president doesn't have authority under the Constitution to simply issue orders that have the weight of law. Only Congress can do that. Bebop is back. What do you think of the rumor of Rubio as Secretary of State? Yeah, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. But there's no Mike Pompeo. There's no Nikki Haley. Yeah, hey, good Lord, thank God there's no Nikki Haley. To be honest, if it wasn't for eucalyptus, I wouldn't have found RJ and the Wyatt Army. For that, I'm very grateful. Nick, well, no, it's fine. Listen, again, I had no beef with the guy. The guy attacked me unsolicited. I don't know what the deal was. And he comes out here yesterday. It was actually entertaining. I got to give him credit. Got to give him credit for that. It's like somebody was commenting on a video I did the other. Oh, LMC was commenting on a video the other day, saying stupid stuff and attacking me. And then at the end, in a comeback, LMC had something clever to say, and I gave him credit. I said, "Hey, that's a pretty good comeback," you know. Anyway, so I will give a little Scotty Balson a credit for for his appearing in the chat yesterday. It was entertaining. It was great. You know, I already had proof of life from his video because he mentioned Kamala Harris losing, so that's clear proof of life, I believe. And to definitely show up in the chat, it's clear proof of life. At least somebody's managing that account. Bystander says, Beata is an ex-Victoria's Secret model, Viva Namibia. Yes, she is, Bystander. She is definitely a former Victoria's Secret model, hence the reason why Adam Levine latched on to her. Sean Connery. That's right. Moneypenny. Yep, Sean Connery. Our line out sucked. Oh, Chris, our line out sucked. Contrary to the claims by Rossi and by the media, our scrums also sucked. When they brought the bomb squad on, they didn't do well initially. They got it better later on, but they didn't do well initially. No, South Africa just didn't perform well. And it wasn't because of Scotland. It was because South didn't perform well. But I mean, Scotland, with the likes of Tom Jordan and Duhan van der Merwe available, they couldn't dot it down across the chalk and score a try. Hey, you know, they were in the game. It was theirs to snatch victory, but they didn't snatch victory. And this is the one trap game. Was I not correct in my analysis that I said this is the trap game for the Springboks? This is a game where they could squander it. They could be beaten here, but they didn't. They wanted their back to world number one. They will crush England. They will crush Wales, and they'll come home to a big crowd at the airport. Cool beans. Yeah, Kamala also sucks. I agree. 69 people here. Oh, Ronaldo likes that number. Nice kicking. Oh, yeah, Finn Russell kicked very well. Finn Russell played very well. He kicked very well. He played very well. It was a brilliant game on his part. I think Sione Tupeloto also performed pretty well in that game. Yep. Anyway, but, you know, hey, when you make content, you put yourself out there, you open yourself up to criticism. That's fine. People are welcome to disagree with my content, but don't misstate things. Same here. Scott Balson finds my content boring. That's his prerogative. So why is he here? It begs a question. If it's boring, why are you here? Why would you subject yourself to watching this? Dude, I can't sit there and watch hours of your content to look for something to put in a video and go, aha! He's a good multicultural pick, but Rubio can only lose if he goes off Trump reservation. Yeah, I don't think he's a good choice. And it's the multicultural. I don't think Trump really cares about that. England is going to get hurt bad. You're right, Garrett. Right. We have tons of stuff. You know, yesterday was just a gab fest. I talked for like 2 hours before we got to the news. People seem to enjoy it. By the way, had hundreds of hours of viewed content yesterday. 146 was the peak audience. Thanks for that. Mondays seem to be a pretty good day when it comes to doing the news. I guess because people finish the weekend, they want to hear what's going on. Don't see comments from me on unloaded videos. Sorry, I've been shadow banned. I don't know what, Charmaine, what are you saying? Unloaded videos. What is an unloaded video? I don't know what an unloaded video is. Please explain that. I talk so much I miss Ronaldo's stream. Christo, that was intentional. Sorry. Ronaldo, you still here? Charmaine, I see your comment. Rules for thee, but not for me. What do you mean you're shadow banned? I see your comment on my video. It's there. It's there. I just read it. I'll go there. I get 2 comments. Come back here. Okay. And Leah Menard commented, said the DA is scared. They go pussyfoot. And Charmaine says, rules for you, but not for me. Here you go. 22 minutes ago, Charmaine. I got it. Got it. You spun a weave. Huh? Yes, one made it through, Charmaine. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you not seeing them when you post them? They're there. Try refreshing the page. Anyway, it's there. I see it. And thank you for your comment. Thank you so much. I did a short earlier, too. Shorts are, they don't usually do well. They're hit and miss. So I did one outside. I had to go around the side of the house because the wind was just whipping wicked out there. But I put that little bush behind me. My neighbor had that like sawgrass. It's like sawgrass. I don't know what it's called. And the stuff grows like crazy. You know, I mean, he said, here, you want this? I said, sure. So I put it over by the drain, by the corner of the house, kind of to hide my raspberry bushes. Because when you drive on the street, you would see the wooden box of my raspberry bushes. And sometimes they're not so pretty, especially during the wintertime. So I put that stuff up. And man, it's crazy. After a couple of years, it's out of control. Huge. So I'll be trimming it back shortly when all the grass dies. Matthew says, I never understand the haters. You in general put yourself out there in keyboard carrots. They do, bystander. They really do. Look, difference of opinion, disagreement, that's fine. But also making false claims. You know, for instance, John Jarvis. Are you here, John? I haven't seen you comment. But John Jarvis said, anytime that someone challenges me, I start citing my CV or I disagree with them. No, that's not true. If I'm incorrect in something, I report it here on the channel. I'm among the first to point out. I may deny it at first because I think I get the right information, but when I find the right information, I certainly have been very clear about it. Ooh, Debbie's been picking raspberries. Yeah, but you're Southern Hemisphere, Debbie. Raspberries, you know, it's now, not now. We're done here. Short are a bit hit and miss. Yeah, especially if they're too short and you see more leg than you had hoped. Well, Dylan, that's probably true. Yeah, no, look, people comment. I guess that's what they live for, you know. That's why it's just, I suppose, better just to, you know, to do the nightly news, be on a news program. Then you don't have to deal with any of the comments. You just ignore it. Ted Cruz educated them on cages, just reminding them that it's Obama's cages. Yep, it is. It is Obama's cages. Any fruit trees? I've got 2 apple trees in the back, but I did a poor job of trimming the stray branches came out. So they both have multiple branches coming out, and the bottom looks more like a bush than a tree. And after about 7 years, they're not that big. Producing a lot of apples, though. Hey, Marilyn, how's it going? How are you today? Hope you're well. Say hi to Lindsay for me. All right. So, yeah. Do you guys like that? I try to find something to show people in shock. That little picture of that cartoon character. Oh, boy. So, oh, yeah. You can't post links to videos unless you're a moderator. Okay. Yeah. Is that what someone's... So, yeah. You can only post a link in chat. This is YouTube, not me. If you're a moderator or you're the content creator. That's so you have to be a moderator. So typically if somebody's got a timely or newsworthy link, what I'll say is, hey, I'll give you moderator status for a few moments. You can post it and then I'll retract it. Yeah, so we do that sometimes. Righto, let's get to the news. Yes. So what else did I watch last night? I had Dr. No in. I got bored with that, and I turned it off, and I put something else on. I can't remember what it was. Boy, I went through Netflix. Ugh, nothing. Although last night I did binge watch Alexander, The Making of a God, or something like that. Pretty good series. Not bad. Obviously, they set up for a second round, but it was not bad. Alexander on Netflix. Netflix is, there's nothing there. It's like, ugh, boring. Did I put a movie on last night? I can't remember. I just finally fell asleep. The Nkobo panel made a grave error in giving credibility to Fraser's Pala Pala theories, says Fikile Mabulula. So is Fikile Mabulula denying that money was stolen from the suitcase or from the couch of Herr Minier Pala Pala? No, he's not. He's just saying that Arthur Fraser made supposition. Well, we've got prima facie evidence to prove otherwise from the Namibian police, from the Presidential Protection Unit. So methinks that Fikile Mabulula and Minir Palapala are protesting too much. And this is all consequence of the economic freedom fighters bringing this back on Parliament's floor where it belongs. Yes, in February 2020, thieves broke into Ramaphosa's Palapala and made off with at least $580,000 in cash, which cannot be denied. The president claimed it was a security deposit for 20 of his substandard buffalo that were never delivered and have never left the farm, and no one's paid for their upkeep. So it's all bullshit. Oh, Mike, I'm going to stop the news. Classic films, Casablanca, classic film. The African Queen, classic film. Not as good, but also a good movie. Yeah, incredible classic films out there. I really love The Maltese Falcon. That's another one. Great films. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mabulula says the independent panel that found President Ramaphosa could be impeached over the Palapala break and made a grave error by giving credibility to former spy boss Arthur Fraser's fanciful theories. Wow. So, yeah, Fikile Mabulula is full of doo-doo. Well, South Africa has finally appointed an ambassador to these United States, ladies and gentlemen, and it's none other than a repeat offender, Rasool. There's an urgent need for South Africa presence in the U.S. This was a sentiment of the Minister of International Relations Cooperation, Little Ronnie Lamola. Yes, South Africa this week appointed Ibrahim Rasool as ambassador to the United States. He returns, having served in the position previously. Lamola described the appointment by Ramaphosa's decision not taken lightly, saying Pretoria felt the need to have someone in Washington quickly post-U.S. election. It was key to ensuring a smooth trade talks with the U.S. and to ensure protection of the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. So the ANC wants to stay in AGOA. Then stop abrogating property rights. Stop working against U.S. national security interests. Well, the Gebera law firm accountant just got 15 years. Look, cases are different. Okay, one thing, another thing. But what I will say is not a skin color, not a racial thing, but there sure seems to be a very strong correlation to the quick justice for minorities in South Africa when it comes to white-collar crime and lengthy prison sentences. But when it comes to endangering public safety, domestic terrorism, threats to the fiscus, wholesale theft by politicians, particularly those of color in South Africa, it seems like we get no justice. Of course, we're still waiting over 2 decades later for the prosecution of Jacob Zuma for the arms case. No one has been prosecuted for Travelgate, for Oilgate. Not yet. No one's been prosecuted for Nkandla. Paul Mashatile, yet to be prosecuted for the millions of rand he can't account for. Ace Magashule, yet to be prosecuted for the Vrede dairy farm scandal, for the asbestos tenders. Zandile Gumeda, we're waiting for her convictions or acquittals in the corruption in Durban. The list goes on and on. Julius Malema endangering public safety, firing a weapon in the air, and then someone on his team or himself changing the receiver to deceive forensic experts. That in itself is a crime. People should be in jail for that crime, whether in jail for the shooting or not. But this lady, and I have no empathy for her because she stole. She's a thief. This lady from a Gebera law firm, she's an accountant with a gambling habit. She was jailed for stealing 18 million rand from clients' accounts. Liesel Badenhorst, a former law firm trust accountant found guilty of embezzling 18 million from clients' accounts, has been jailed for 15 years in prison. Wow. 44-year-old, she's going to jail for 15 years. Now, she violated people's trust in the most important thing they have, other than their family and their life, and that's their money. So she deserves a lengthy prison sentence, but this only came to light on March 17th. And here we are 6 months later, and she's going to jail for 15 years. Wow. Julius Malema fired a gun with a live bullet into a crowd, endangering public safety and public lives. He exhorted his followers to terrorize click stores and burn and loot them. He exhorted his followers to burn and loot Boers and their farms at Senekal. But he is not in jail. We have a member of the Shwana City Council who threatened to kill Boers. He wanted the blood of the Boer in his hand. He's the deputy mayor now. No justice. No justice. Well, folks, police are watching TikTok and Twitter. Did you know that? And Instagram? Yeah. South African Police Service has a team dedicated to monitoring social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and X to spot criminal activity in the country. Well, in the South African Police Service, we got a dedicated team that monitors all social media platforms in South Africa, be it WhatsApp, Facebook, X, TikTok, or Instagram. And what say you? Well, I say, bravo, bully for them. They should be monitoring publicly available information. That's their job. That's part of the responsibility. They don't need a warrant. You post it. I post it. It's available publicly. Unless you put it private and hide it, then if they get into it, then they've got a problem. They should be doing this because most of these criminals post their activity online, so it's easy to find them. Charles says, but they're black, and you cannot prosecute them for racist and criminal behavior. Apparently, that's the case. So, I have a right to pray, says Pastor Mburo, the man who kidnapped young boys or young children from school recently. Remember that story? He's in court now, and this is a case that came to quick justice, too. And he's black, so maybe that racial thing doesn't always play out. Anyway, suddenly the cops can read, says Maryland. Incredible Happenings Ministries leader, Pastor Paseka Mboro Mutsaneng, expressed frustration after being told to stop praying during his appearance in the Palm Ridge Magistrates Court on Remembrance Day. Now, apparently he was praying quietly, and the judge said, hey, should be paying attention to the proceedings, not praying. He's like, I have a right to pray. No, you don't. You have a right and responsibility to be attentive to the court and participate in the hearings, to either exonerate you or convict you. That's what you have responsibility to do, not sit there and pray. You can pray on your own time, buddy. Absolutely. This is just theater. Well, Joburg's water crisis restrictions are set to tighten as it gets deeper. Wow. A 7-page letter from Johannesburg Water to City Manager Floyd Brink on the 14th of October reveals that water throttling and pressure controls are being introduced as the city water crisis deepens. On Monday, the Constitutional Court said it had been unable to conduct physical or in-court cases because of an unreliable water supply. So my question is, how will the Constitutional Court find the failure to deliver water as unconstitutional if it can't meet? I'm sorry. Look, they should have finished the Highlands Water Project. Then they would have had enough water for the next 50 years. But they didn't do it. The DNC didn't do it. All they did was finish off a project the National Party began from Lesotho. And I've been there. I've been to that project. Raise your hand if you've been there. Paul's been there. Paul took me there. Paul Farrell. Who's been there? Almost nobody. Anybody that's been there, of course, I'm talking about where the water intake or outtake pipes come from the Highlands coming through Lesotho into the Free State at Clarence. Who's been there? I've been there. Yeah. Water and Sanitation Minister says South Africa won't run out of water. And I think she's whistling past the cemetery. South Africa will run out of water. You're already utilizing 75% of available surface water. 75%. 75%. This is a country with almost no arable land. Just 13% of the land is arable. And it has poor water. And you are using it poorly. Look at the Vaal River. It's a sewage pit. It is a cesspool of feces and contamination. It's disgusting. That's why there are water lilies all over it. Oh, my goodness. So, water and sanitation. She says, no problem, but you're using 75% of water. So now she wants to hit groundwater. We're already harnessing approximately 75% of our utilizable surface water resources. We need to diversify the water resource mix by increasing the sustainable use of groundwater and make use of desalination. Well, desalination, that's an idea. The Saudis have proven that to be a capable process. A little pricey, but you could do it. But groundwater, what do you want, sinkholes? Gauteng municipalities owe Rand Water over 7 billion Rand. And that's not even all the municipalities. 3 of them aren't even included. Julia Evans in the Daily Maverick reports Water and Sanitation Minister Penny Majodina, whom I just mentioned, had an urgent meeting on Sunday with Premier Panyaza Lesufi and Joburg Mayor Dada Morero. Yep. While Gauteng municipalities rack up a debt of 7.3 billion Rand to Rand Water, Johannesburg residents are experiencing widespread water outages with communities across the city struggling for days without supply. Here you go. There's Deep Sloot, Extension 4 on Masharoni Street in the afternoon. Look at all those people looking for water. That's insane, folks. Absolutely insane. Look at this. Look at this. This is South Africa. This is first world. Wow. So why are people paying for utilities? For this? Give me a break. Wow. But the water minister, the fact that you have a water minister is shocking. The country needs a water ministry. Water minister says it's going to be okay. She's full of it. Well, people don't have money, so people are dropping DSTV in droves. MultiChoice has posted a staggering headline loss of $1.8 billion for a 6-month period. It ended on 30 September, extending losses by 50% from the same period last year. Revenue was down by 11% to just 24.8 billion Rand. Operating profit was down 49%, and 1.8 million subscribers left. 400,000 of them from South Africa alone. 1.8 million people left DSTV. Wow. That's just crazy. Crazy. Man. The group's subscriber base in South Africa declined by a massive 5% to 7.4 million from 7.8 million. Wow, folks, that is a huge drop. And just in the first half of the year, 7.8, then 7.6, 7.4. MultiChoice is in trouble. The satellite service is not up to it. And speaking of being in trouble, Pick and Pay is apparently worth less on paper than its debt. According to this report in Business Tech. Investors have so little trust in Pick and Pay that its effective market cap is negative. However, Boxer, which is a subsidiary, is going to be listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange on November 28th. So if you're looking for an opportunity to buy a new stock, this initial public offering is coming. The company plans to raise 8 to 8.5 billion rand from this IPO for Boxer. Wow. Interesting. Boxer Superstores is a fantastic business. It's leading discount grocery retail with annual turnover of 37 billion rand and a profit of 2.1 billion rand, which is in stark contrast to Pick n Pay. Boxer's revenue grew 19% in 2023 and 17% in 2024. Accounts for all of any growth at all in the Pick n Pay brand. Wow. So they'll issue 190,476,191 shares with an additional almost 12 million shares available if it's oversubscribed. So the price range will be between 42 and 54 rand per share. So how do I get in on an IPO? Anybody know someone that does investment in South Africa? Please send me a note. I'd like to get in on the initial public offering of this. I mean, we're talking about stock that's going to be selling for $2.10 a share, initial public offering. We never see $2.10 per share initial public offerings in America. I want some of that action for a company that's profitable. Yeah. Now, what's interesting about this is that that's going to trade for initial public offering at a price to earnings ratio of 16 to 21 times earnings. That's pretty good for an IPO. When we have a software company comes out, they're usually at 50, 60 times, which is ridiculous, their earnings. But this will be, a traditional price to earnings ratio between 14 and 21. That's normal. And they will be valued at it will be valued at 23 to 29 billion rand at that initial public offering price. All of Pick n Pay is only worth 19 billion rand. Can you imagine this? Thousands of stores, and they have this new upstart discount Aldi-like store, and they're making all this money. Yeah, South Africa price speculation is very dodgy. But then again, Courtney McBride, I also own shares in Lucara, Canadian pink sheet company that runs a diamond mine in Karaway in Botswana. And I bought those shares so I can say I own a diamond mine. I do. Did I watch the 60 Minutes report on Putin's overseas assassins? No, I have not seen that. I don't watch 60 Minutes. I watched 60 Minutes in probably 35 years. It went the way of the dinosaur. Woolies food? Not really, folks. This is a scam repackaging expired tins of meat, of fish. Woolworths food, fake and expired Lucky Star canned fish relabeled at factory in Gauteng. That's not a Woolies box. Police in Gauteng have arrested 7 undocumented migrants. That would be criminal alien invaders, not undocumented migrants. Yeah, age 18 to 29 during a raid at a factory where workers were packaging and altering dates on expired Lucky Star canned fish. Wow. During a raid along Elan Street, Dale's side, law enforcement authorities seized a large quantity of counterfeit Lucky Star pilchards. Look at that. And they were putting them in boxes. They were using printing equipment to alter the expiry dates. Wow. Good job, police. Who would have gotten sick and died from that crap? Another cash in transit heist, this one in Rustenburg. Yep, and people sitting around waiting to get the money. The video, which is supplied from someone on social media, said, let's get out of here, let's get out of here. And the other one said, no, shut the door, lock the door, no. Well, we got to get out of here. No. What if there's some money laying around? Oh, you're going to go steal the money? That makes you a criminal, dumbass. Yeah, police spokesman Colonel Adel Myberg said that the armored security vehicle was rammed into by a white Mercedes-Benz on the R104 at Krundal. Monday evening, the driver continued to drive the vehicle, but was forced to stop after shots were fired. He and his colleague jumped out, and they were disarmed by the thieves. Dude, your 9mm to shoot those bastards. That's what you should do. So, South African Police Services released the following photos. They confiscated 2 vehicles, a Toyota Bakkie, which was stolen in Bloemfontein in August of this year, and a Volkswagen Tiguan that was hijacked in August of this year in Boikikong on suspicion the vehicles were being used during the commission of the crime. So here is the Toyota, and there is the number plate covered up, and there's the Toyota Tiguan. Stolen vehicles being used to commit crimes. Yep, and they don't care what damage they do to your cars because they've got them. Well, one of Pretoria's better-known malls is in financial trouble, folks, and it's disappointing given all the wealthy people live around it, all the access to it, but rising levels of crime and homelessness impacting the mall have had an impact. Despite that, the businesses in the mall are spending a significant amount of money to upgrade their own retail stores. Chief among them are Woolies, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Woolworths upgrading their stores. I'm talking about, of course, the Brooklyn Mall, and I know Brooklyn Mall very well. That little roundabout just opposite the mall is where dental services are, and I still have my tooth, courtesy of a very good quality dentist who saved my tooth there in 2014. The embattled Brooklyn Mall in Pretoria has undergone significant changes over the past few months, with several major tenants, including Woolworths, upgrading their stores. And that's the food court area there at the Brooklyn Mall. You can see there. Woolworths, one of the biggest tenants at the mall in Pretoria East, has introduced a 50 million Rand plus upgrade at its store. The new Woolworths store features a brand new W cellar and Woolworths cafe, in addition to fresh fish, butchery, and bakery options. Several other homeware and furniture brands have expanded their stores, including Yuppie Chef, Volpus, Sterling's, Golden Goose, Mr. Price Home, CeeLo, and At Home. South African furniture retailer Nkanda will open a store November 15th, but they've been struggling. Yep, their vacancy rate was 3.6% in 2019. Today, it's 18.7%. Wow. Now, the mall is close to 121 foreign embassies, 55 schools, and 62,000 university students. It's also next to the affluent suburbs of Menlo Park, Linwood, and Waterkloof. It's one of the largest shopping centers in the country, spanning 75,000 square meters with 5.2 million average annual footfall and 220 stores. Courtney's just given a super chat. I miss the shopping malls, the 80s, the golden age being Youth America. Indeed, Courtney, I'm with you 100% on that. Jenkins asked a question. Let me go back and see if I can find it. Where is Jenkins' question? How do you become a moderator? Oh, Jenkins, you become a moderator by being present in the chat so I can see the tenor of your comments, and you request to be a moderator. Then you must agree to my moderator conditions. It's just a one-page set of rules for moderators. And you send me an email. You must identify your real name, a real email address, and a real phone number so that I can contact you. Nobody's a moderator unless I have the ability to reach out and talk to them. So, Jenkins, if you're interested in being a moderator, all you have to do is send me an email. The email is available. Maybe one of the moderators can put it up there. Send me an email. Please be patient. If I don't read it, remind me to read the email because I don't go to that account every day. And in the email, tell me your real name, your username, your phone number that you can be reached at, and I'll have the email address because you sent me an email. And say you want to be a moderator. And normally I require people to hang around a bit and get to see who they are in the chat. But that's all you have to do to be a moderator. Matthew Dixon will never be a moderator. So the Brooklyn Mall is in trouble, and that's unfortunate, folks. That's unfortunate. So BMW and Mercedes, according to Business Tech, are under siege in South Africa, and I disagree with this. I disagree. They say they're under siege and people aren't buying their cars. Here are the top-selling brands in October. In October, Toyota sold almost 12,000 units. Volkswagen, 6,300. But BMW and Mercedes, according to them, are hurting. Mercedes sold just 474 cars, and BMW sold 1,000 units in October. And what I will tell you is the following. The reason why BMW and Mercedes sales have fallen in South Africa is because the caterers aren't in ministries to buy themselves cars anymore. What did YouTube do now that I'm no longer a member? Ronaldo canceled his membership. Why'd you cancel your membership, man? Wow, I didn't cancel my membership to your channel. Why did Ronaldo cancel his membership? That's pretty lame. Right. So Home Affairs Minister is Leon Schreiber, and he's warning people you still have a green ID book. That's a real risk for identity theft. And he's correct. So he's suggesting you get the new ID card only. Will you be able to get one is the question. South Africa's Department of Home Affairs has warned South Africans with green ID books that they're at risk of numerous crimes and should upgrade to the smart IDs. Schreiber warned South Africans who still use green ID books that they're at risk of having their identity stolen. Yep. The main problem with the 16-page barcoded green ID book is that security features did not keep track of technological advances used by criminals. They were launched in 1980 at the time provided citizens and the government with a system which served them well. But times have changed, and thieves know how to take advantage of it. Israel's parliament has sanctioned a lawmaker, Ofer Kassif, for supporting South Africa's case at the International Court of Justice. An Israeli member of cabinet has been suspended for comments made about the IDF, the war in Gaza, and his support for South Africa's genocide case. Ofer Kassif, the only Jewish member of an Arab-majority party, will not be able to speak in the Knesset for 6 months and won't be paid for 2 weeks. He signed a petition last year supporting South Africa for taking Israel to court. Yes, well, he's lucky he's not charged with treason, but he has free speech. 770,000 rand for a toilet, for a portalet. Well, this is what happens in South Africa when the tenders are involved and the tenderpreneurs. The Athol Square Ray Via station in Sandton has been idle for years, racking up bills for security guards and a mobile toilet. It's one of 2 unfinished stations in the network. Joburg Development Agency said 32 million rand had been set aside for the stations, and it appears more than 770,000 has been spent on just one toilet. Wow. For the past 4 years, the Athol Square Ray Via station on Catherine Street in Sandton has stood idle and under construction. Its gates remain closed to the public because the bus rapid transit network, first established in 2009, is not yet complete. The Mondo portable toilet costs 528 rand a day, including the collection of the toilet after it's been used. This translates to 192,000 to maintain the toilet every year, and over 4 years, that means they've spent almost 800,000 rand for a portalet because they need to guard it. Mozambique's opposition leader Mondlane is calling for protest at border posts and the ports, trying to step up the chaos. Mozambique opposition presidential candidate Venancio Mondlane has called for gatherings at ports and borders in the major cities tomorrow for what he describes as the 4th round of demonstrations against a stolen election. Anna-Marie Nell has just done something. What'd she do? Thank you for membership, Anna-Marie. Appreciate that. Yeah, Mozambique. Going off the rails here, folks. People have had enough of Frelimo. Mauritius' prime minister has conceded defeat in Mauritius' Sunday election. Prime Minister Pravind Jugnauth has conceded defeat to Navin Ramgoolam's Alliance du Changement in Mauritius' parliamentary election. Isn't it funny to see Indian dudes speaking French? Ramgoolam's alliance promised increased pensions, free transport, and reduced fuel prices. Well, good luck with that. Voter turnout was nearly 80% in Mauritius. Lovely destination for the wealthy. South Africa sells Cote d'Ivoire 3.2 million rand worth of wine last year, but now the U.S. wants to get into the market. Apparently in Cote d'Ivoire, people are turning to wine. French-speaking Cote d'Ivoire presents a huge opportunity for American wine exporters, according to U.S. Department of Agriculture. And South Africa is envious that we're trying to get in that marketplace. Hey, may the best man win. South African wines are fine. They'll hold their own. Botswana's new Minister of Youth is youthful. Botswana's new Minister of Youth and Gender, Lesego Chombo, receives praise after her appointment. Botswana's recent appointment of 26-year-old Lesego Chombo as Minister of Youth and Gender has sparked conversations across the continent, drawing praise from different quarters, particularly for her youth and fresh perspective on leadership. Chombo, an attorney, how long has she been practicing attorney? She's 26, and she must graduate from school like 3 minutes ago. She's Miss Botswana 2022 and Miss World Africa 2024, was appointed by newly elected President Boko last week as part of a newly structured cabinet. As of today, I'm blessed with a role that gives me a greater opportunity to serve young people. Okay. But some people draw contrast with others. In Namibia, Agnes Basila Tonga Guerrero is 77. She's the Minister of Youth. A 77-year-old is the Minister of Youth. So they're drawing attention to that. Somaliland is also holding presidential polls. What a consequential election year this has been. According to Somaliland National Electoral Commission, more than 1 million registered and eligible voters head to the polls tomorrow to elect their president for the next 5 years. Now, of course, Somaliland is not recognized except by a handful of countries. Shamefully, it's a successful country. China, with its stolen technology, has built a new stealth fighter that looks remarkably like the F-22. Wow. Public debut of weapons at Chinese air show comes as concerns grow in Washington over Beijing's expanding military power. My concern is that their J-35 Alpha looks a lot like an F-22. And they obviously stole all the technology because the Democrats have allowed Chinese spies to work for Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, to work for Barbara Boxer, the senator from California, to open her legs and bang boots with Eric Swalwell, a member of Congress. And these treasonous bastards have Chinese spies all around them because they're all about diversity. Diversity. Ah, look, we have an Asian face. That makes us good people. No, you have a Chinese spy. That makes you a traitor to America and a boring dumbass. Kennedy won his lawsuit at the Supreme Court. Which lawsuit was that? Okay. So Amsterdam police arrested another 5 people in the anti-Semitic attacks on Jews after that soccer game against Ajax. A total of 8 people are being held in connection with last week's violence. No, they said they arrested 55. Did they release them all? All were men ranging in age from 18 to 37. They all have a migration background. Of course they do. You've allowed this scum into your country, a migration background. Immigration's not making people scum, but these people, they're anti-Semitic, anti-Christian, anti-white, anti-European, anti-majority population. Why do you let them in? Wow. Germany's government is collapsed and the elections won't be until February. Decision follows a budget fight that prompted Chancellor Olaf Scholz to fire his finance minister. So that comes in February, early elections. So will the CDU get its act together? Don't count on it. Germany has lost its way. It is gone. Finland's president said Donald Trump, give him a chance. He's the guy that can maybe stop this Ukraine nonsense. In the Frankfurter Allgemeine, Finnlands Präsident Trump könnte Ukraine-Krieg schnell beenden. He said he can end it fast. Prognose. Republikaner halten Mehrheit im Repräsentantenhaus. Rubio könnte Außenminister werden. Migrations-Hardliner soll in Trumps Stab kommen. Und alle Neuigkeiten in live blog. That's what they're saying. So they're prognosing Republicans are getting the majority in the House of Representatives. Marco Rubio could be the foreign minister. And Trump's staff is taking a hard line on migration. Die Amerikaner haben einen neuen Präsidenten gewählt. In unserem Live-Blog informieren wir Sie über alle Entwicklungen nach der US-Wahl. The Americans have chosen a new president. In our live blog, we inform you about the developments in the United States election. Donald Trump bleibt vorläufig ein verurteilter Straftäter. He remains a convicted criminal, says Andrea Ross. Der New Yorker Richter Juan Marchand folgte nach einer Mitteilung vom Dienstag einem Antrag des Bezirks. Oh, okay, so that's been updated. So did he not dismiss the case? Let me look and see. Marchand. Wow, that's interesting. That looks like it's been updated because that was not the story that was there before. Juan Marchand, okay. News. Delays Trump immunity decision in hush. Okay, so we have an update on the Trump case, CBS News. So, President Donald Trump's conviction lives on for at least another week. A New York judge on Tuesday deferred making an immediate decision on whether the presidential immunity should be preventing jurors from seeing certain evidence. Justice Juan Marchand said we'll rule next week on whether July Supreme Court granting, did not directly address sentencing. Yeah, dude, this a prosecutor for Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg emailed Marchand saying Trump asked for a pause based on the impact. Anyway, this should have been killed. So he's going to stretch it out for another week. This acting judge, a foreigner. How does a foreign national become a judge in America? That's interesting. Obviously, he's a naturalized American at some point. Well, the United States has launched strikes against Iran-backed militants in Syria. U.S. forces launched strikes against 9 Iran-linked targets in Syria in response to several attacks on American troops in the region over the last 24 hours. The strikes are intended to degrade the ability of the Iran-backed militant forces to plan and launch future attacks on U.S. and coalition forces in Syria. So, Joe Biden is still using his military. He's not out yet. Trump's victory, according to the Wall Street Journal's Matthew Dalton, this is more propaganda, folks, gives China a way to lead the world. Campaign has vowed to pull U.S. out of Paris Accord, but China appears more committed than ever. Really? China appears more committed than ever? What a load of nonsense, is that Dixon? Matthew Dalton, not Matthew Dixon. China is not committed to climate change legislation. They're committed to us destroying our economies to pay bribes to third countries so that the Chinese continue to build coal-fired power plants and sell substandard solar panels to the world. That's what they're all for, while being the world's largest polluter. China is the world's largest polluter, and it continues to grow its output and pollution. The United States carbon dioxide output continues to go down year over year, and China's continues to grow year over year. So China is not committed to climate changes. China is committed to us destroying our economy and them selling their shitty wares to us. That's what they're committed to. And the Wall Street Journal used to be a reliable publication, but they've become a propaganda wing of political leftists. Well, Joe Biden commemorates Veterans Day. I have to give him credit for that. It's been the greatest honor of my life to lead you, serve you, and care for you, to defend you just as you defended us. And what I have to say to that is that Joe Biden was never my commander-in-chief. Thank God. Thank God. The demented, diaper-wearing, falling up the stairs, gobbledygook, my mind's going blank, president was never my commander-in-chief. I'm a retired officer. I'm a retired list. I haven't been ordered back to active duty. I finished my service while Donald John Trump was president, having served under Reagan Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, and Trump, but not sleepy, creepy Joe Biden. So I never served under that demented lunatic, thank God. He gave his final Veterans Day address at Arlington Cemetery on November 11th, joined by First Lady Jill Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff. Second Gentleman. I love that. Second Gentleman. Soy boys. Yes, at least 35 killed when a man drove into a crowd in southern China. In the city of Zhuhai, they detained the man who said he rammed a small vehicle into people who were exercising in a sports center. 43 people, others were injured in the crash after he killed 35. 78 people. But hey, guns are a problem. 78 people taken out by one vehicle. Exxon says that Donald Trump is wrong and the U.S. should stay in the Paris Climate Accord. ExxonMobil CEO Darren Woods says the president-elect's plan to pull out of U.S. agreement is a bad idea. And Exxon CEO Darren Woods is full of nonsense. It is not a good idea to stay in it. It punishes our economy. And it helps Exxon because they are in the business of sequestration of carbon dioxide and are looking for government contracts. Fraud, fraud, fraud. Dishonest, dishonest, dishonest. You can piss off Darren Woods. No, not interested. Well, Kamala Harris paid her celebrities to come, including, I guess, Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, perhaps the payments cover the cost of events with Hollywood A-listers, but it's unclear whether the celebrities pocketed any of the money. Really? So we don't know if they got paid. They paid $20 million for the appearances. Okay, there's confusion there. We were initially told that they were paying for celebrities. Now we're being told that's what the cost of venues was. I think they paid celebrities. Well, Lee Zeldin, former New York congressman and who ran for governor of New York, has been tapped to be head of the Environmental Protection Agency. Wow. For 8 years, he represented New York's 1st congressional district and ran for governor. Lee has a very strong legal background, a true fighter for America First policies, said Trump. So that's a good choice. Lee Zeldin is a fantastic conservative. He will do the job. Democrat Ruben Gallego has officially defeated Kari Lake in the Arizona Senate race, and there appears to be no path for Kari Lake to win this race. So the former Marine is projected to win that seat, which will keep it at 53-47, and the races are decided. They finally apparently have decided for, look at that, Washington Post has decided for Pennsylvania, whereas the New York Times has refused to concede that McCormick has won here. Trump eyes Marco Rubio for Secretary of State and Waltz for National Security Advisor. Not a good pick. Not a good pick at all. Mike Waltz would be the National Security Advisor. You've got to be careful about digging into the House of Representatives because we have to face, in some states, they appoint people. In some states, we have to face elections. Well, Judge Marchand was set to rule. Apparently that has happened, and he's going to delay it for another week. This Colombian import right there, Juan Marchand, the man who has such a demented, evil approach to the rule of law and disregards it entirely. A man who should be removed from the bench immediately. Trump has picked Kristi Noem to be the Secretary of Homeland Security. Kristi Noem, the South Dakota governor who famously killed her dog, apparently. I don't know what that was all about. He's chosen South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem to lead the Department of Homeland Security, according to people familiar with the matter. She'll join Tom Homan, who will be Trump's border czar, and that's a good mix, I think, to control it. Well, Mattel has apologized for sending people to wicked porn site. Mattel Dolls issued a debut toy in line with the new movie Wicked. But the geniuses, what is with the cattle piercings? Why do people want themselves to look like slaves with nose piercing? I don't get that. Oh, look, it's Ariana Grande. Go lick a donut, Ariana. Mattel has apologized for the unfortunate error in the packaging of its dolls inspired by the movie Wicked that directed its customers to an adult website. They intended to direct customers to wickedmovie.com, but instead they sent them to wicked.com, which is a porn site. The error was printed on packaging for the characters Glinda, played by Ariana Grande, and Elphaba, Elphaba, played by Cynthia Enviro as part of their Wicked doll collection. It took people to wicked.com. There it is right there, folks. They're not making this up. Wicked.com, which is a porn site, apparently. Oh, my goodness. There it is right there, folks. Wicked.com. What a bunch of dumbasses. Ohio's Governor Mike DeWine begins a process to replace J.D. Vance, who can no longer serve as a senator. Vivek Ramaswamy and Lieutenant Governor John Husted are among the names being mentioned. Now that J.D. Vance's vice president-elect, he must step down from his seat, and that is Courtney's donation of another super chat. I'll get that in a second. Yep. All right, so he has to pick someone else. Hall of Famer Michael Strahan has pissed off NFL fans by failing to put his hand over his heart during the national anthem while present at a game on Veterans Day. National Football League Hall of Famer, well, not on Veterans Day, but yeah, he was on celebrating. So he grew up in a military family, but he still got himself in trouble because during NFL on Fox at the San Diego Naval Base, all his colleagues, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and Jimmy Johnson, placed their hands over their hearts, but Strahan kept his hands clasped in front of him. The gesture drew the ire of several football fans on social media. Not cool having Strahan disrespecting our national anthem, wrote one viewer. This just further divides this country, even if it's his right to do that. Others chimed in for calling to cancel Strahan. I normally don't care about this stuff. I swear to defend the Constitution. Another outraged ex-writer wrote, but Strahan, you're in their mother effing house. Literally, they live in that ship. Show some respect. No cops for miles. This isn't about your skin. Brothers and sisters behind your uniform. Strahan, a self-described Army brat, parlayed a 15-year NFL career into the New York Giants into several broadcasting gigs, including regularly hosting Good Morning America. And I, too, call for a boycott of Michael Strahan for his stupidity. If he's an Army brat, he should know better. Well, Trump breaks the Republican losing streak in the nation's largest Arab majority city. We have Arab majority cities? Yeah, we do in Michigan, folks. Yep. In Dearborn, where he received nearly half the 110,000 residents, or half the residents there are 110,000 are of Arab descent. Kamala Harris got 2,500 fewer votes than Donald Trump. He beat her there and in Dearborn Heights amongst Arabs. They punished her. Well, here's a ridiculous story. How to raise trillions to fight climate change with or without U.S. This is this nonsense in the New York Times by Somoni Sengupta and Lydia DePillis. These are just thieves who want to steal money from people. And what are their solutions? Punish the successful for their climate fantasy. So what do they suggest? Well, here's some options. Tax the problem. Simple formula is a global price on carbon. No, it's not a simple. Then there's the most politically difficult proposal, 2% wealth tax on the world's billionaires. So only the world's billionaires should pay for pollution, but the people producing it shouldn't. Stop. Idiots. Kevin Costner lauds Liz Cheney, and Kevin Costner has just found himself down on the shit list. Despite Trump win, we should applaud her. We should protect her. And of course, he demonstrates his ignorance of the American political system. Kevin Costner applauded former Representative Liz Cheney, said the Wyoming Republican should be applauded rather than threatened. Well, no, she should never be threatened. I would agree with that. He said, I'm proud of Liz Cheney. I found a person completely at odds with one side willing to stand up. We should applaud her. We should protect her. Well, I'm completely at odds with the Democrats. Why don't you applaud me there, Kevin? He says, I expect people in government to do the right thing. Public service is about public service. It's not about your career. Well, I agree, except we know better. It's not about your ego, except we know better. It's about your 4 years is your 4 years. Well, Kevin, Liz Cheney was a member of the House of Representatives. You might have missed civics class, Kevin Costner, but members of the House of Representatives serve for 2 years, not for 4 years. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, I've got more stuff on Finland. I'll save that for a few moments. Let me get back to the chat. I missed a lot of chat here. So, DSTV aspired to be just like SABC. Brilliant marketing idea. All that local content. This is what happens in Monopoly. Don't know how stable this investment will be. South Africa. Okay. Face says, hey, Chris, did you watch? No, I didn't watch that. Peter Oberholzer's here. Welcome to you. Charles Van Onselen. My broadband claimed DSTV doubled their subscription in the last 2 years. That's not true. That's not true. It's my broadband that reports that they're losing. Never touch that disgusting Lucky Star, Debbie. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it either. Chris, you must look at Sibanye Stillwater shares. They still have not been paid any dividends on that. Really? Well, I don't want that if they're not paying dividends. Jonas says, the average Joe cannot get in IPOs in South Africa. Only a few of the big financial houses are eligible. Yeah, that's what I figured. Jenkins, Chris is very strict before he makes someone a mod. Can I help you? Okay, says Erica. Brooklyn Mall is mid. Yeah, Brooklyn Mall is not that great anymore. I miss the shopping malls. Kate Jenkins says, asking of interest. See the Kennedy won his lawsuit. I didn't see that. Ronaldo says, how's it? But he's no longer a member. What's that all about? Don't know why Ronaldo's no longer a member. Did he decide he wanted to quit? What's the deal? You mean our government isn't buying fancy new cars? Yeah, that's why the sales now. It's easy. The Chinese have entered the market and offer the same quality far cheaper. Yeah, but it isn't about that, Renal. Come on, you need to be honest here. Members, caters don't care about price. They care about glitz and bling. Your Chinese crap doesn't have any glitz and bling. Those are average people buying those cars. The wealthy are buying the glitz and bling. BMW, Audi, and Mercedes. Val Cooper says, very late here, but hey, good to see you there. And then check Sibani Stillwater, no payout on dividends. Why would I want them? 77,000 for a shitter. The wrong business, says Matthew. Check this out. I recall the Katsa Dam being constructed in the 1980s, and then the project was never completed. Here I thought that station on Catherine Street was just there to make my drive to work a mission, says Layman. Apparently all the borders will be closed tomorrow. Really? Okay. Very much like the Itaquina Municipal Transport Service. Okay. What else we got here? Pablo Charlie's back. I saw in chat for Fox News that Trump literally gained votes in Illinois. He did gain votes, but you said he was going to win Illinois. I said he wouldn't. So let me just take a look at Illinois. So Illinois 2020 election results. Okay. All right. Illinois 2024 election results. Okay, in 2020, he got 2,446,000 or 40.5% of the vote. In 2024, Donald Trump got what? No, that's not what I'm looking at. Yeah, he got 2,400,000 votes. So he got the same number of votes he got last time. But last time he got 40.5%. This time he got 44.5%. So Biden got 3.4 million votes and she got just 2.9. She lost 500,000 votes. Trump had the same number of votes. The Democratic candidate lost 500,000 votes. Therefore, it looks closer. But Trump didn't gain anything. Somaliland. That's correct. Somaliland, not Somalia. That's in the northwestern part of Somalia. Sedgefield, what's up, man? Moroccans are considered and classified as Dutch Moroccans. Tom Holman would be good at his job, but the man is so inarticulate. He's very uncouth and bombastic. I think he's great. Andre Roux, welcome to you. Trump calls Marco Rubio Little Marco. Well, he used to. Leah Menard, welcome to you, Leah. Thank you for your comment on my video. Surely the focus should be on who can do the job and how nicely he speaks. Not how nice. Exactly, Jono. China doesn't care about the environment. You're right, Erica. China only cares about itself. Yep. George Steinberg, you're late too. What's going on? Is Ronaldo broadcasting today? Very soon, Joe Biden will have no more control. Yeah, exactly. China has survived some hectic crap. They're controlled by an autocratic regime. The young kids are protesting now. Birth rate is super low. They are really messed up. You are correct. Skeptical of any Trump's picks to lead the EPA. I'm skeptical of the Environmental Protection Agency, an agency created by Richard Milhouse Nixon. Did Ken escape the baby doll collection? I have no idea. Charlie Kirk says we should focus on Trump's Truth Social when it comes to announcing his team. I don't think so. Trump is picking people of all backgrounds left and right. Why no African American? Why? Because they're busy listening to rap music. Ooh, Pablo Charlie, that's cold. Little Marco for $2 says Courtney. Rock Scales, hello to you. Not just another, okay. They've been programmed to do it. People stopped thinking of themselves a long time ago. Elmer 5 Pence says, put up the stream of this, the actual way to honor our vets. I don't know what you're talking about, Elmer 5 Pence. Ken's fault. Ken who? CNN and Fox are interesting to watch these days. I don't watch either one of them. You don't have to put your hand over your heart, but it's good for him to do so. No, you are supposed to put your hand over your heart. You are supposed to. You're supposed to remove your headgear and put your hand over the heart. That's the standard. Yep. No, Ronaldo doesn't go live on Tuesday. G20 remove membership, African Union nonsense. Yeah, I agree. Where are we at here? It jumped on me. So, Courtney says, if I'm in formation with my military unit, I do not salute the flag during the national anthem. I stand attention. This is the correct thing to do as outlined to you directives. Unless ordered to salute by the person in charge of the formation. Kevin Costner is great in The Postman. I think Kevin Costner, nah. DA's bad, PA's bad, ASA's bad. Who's good? MK? Pablo? No. Africans still blaming certain unknown people from the 1800s for why they're poor today. Yes. And the irony is that most African newfound states in the 1960s were wealthier than the Asian states now, which are 3 and 4 to 5 times as wealthy as African states. Gate McKenzie and Zuma nephew were partners in Siboney-Stillwater. Didn't know that. China is riding the global leveling up wave. Yep. Michelle Fundamev is back. Hey, it's been a while. You changed your avatar. Hello, sir. Long time no see. It's been busy. I'm glad to see America's not falling yet. I'm now seriously considering moving there once I have my dual citizenship. Well, Michelle, if you come here, let's have a lunch. African Americans will blame the Italian mob in the 19... Yep. He's South African. All right. 60 Minutes hasn't been good since they had Mike Wallace and Andy Rooney. Yep. Blame Jan van Riebeck and South African, but live in the Netherlands. All right. 47 days for me, says Arc Position. What's 47 days? So Pablo Charlie, yes, you were correct that Donald Trump would gain votes, but I told you wouldn't win Illinois. UIM is not a bad option, says Andre. Yep. Savage Daughters with Botswana elephants. I see they have their hands full with the elephants. Oh, there are too many elephants in Botswana. It's out of control. Yep. They should ship them to some other place like East Africa. Change the bloodline. Pablo Charlie is saying something about about Africa. Anyway, folks, how are we doing over there? Ronaldo disappeared and he's no longer a member. What happened there? I posted it to my Telegram channel. All my 5 pence. You got to tell me which video you're talking about, brother. What did I post to my channel? I'm sorry. I'm not knowing what you're talking about. I've got multiple channels over there. So sorry, I'm trying to work with you here, but I don't know what you're talking about. Right. Let's take a look. That new video, it's got almost no views. Hopefully everybody from here goes over there. 121 views. That's nix. Boy, nobody wants to talk about this this George situation with Mr. Figland. Huh. Interesting. Wow. It's sad that we do not have an African leader who wants to stand up for their country and actually wants to make it proper. Yeah, well, that's a fair point. Anyway, so the 30th. Oh, that's Arc Precision's birthday. On the 23rd in Maltahur in Namibia, Giselle will be performing. Bring your friends, bring your family, she says in the video. Where do you get reliable U.S. news if not from Fox? The rest are all leftist propaganda. It's me again. I get reliable news from myself because I look at all the news sites and I discern what is fact, what is propaganda, and that's where I get my news. I used to have a subscription to The Economist. I have a habit now of reading. I have subscriptions to the news services that I don't agree with that are propaganda, but I have to look at all views. Otherwise, I can't assess things accurately. But I no longer have a subscription to The Economist. I couldn't stomach it anymore. I canceled that long before I became a journalist. I had a subscription to The Economist for over 30 years, but after 9/11, after the invasion of Iraq in 2003, The Economist proved to be nothing but a propaganda outlet with lie after lie after lie, just like all the media outlets. We used to see that Business Week was a fantastic magazine. I don't even know if it's still around. Is Business Week even around anymore? It was a fantastic business magazine. I read that cover to cover. Yeah, it used to be an incredible, but it was bought by Bloomberg and it was destroyed. Bloomberg Business Week. Yeah, it's still out there, but it's garbage. It's garbage. It's garbage. It's all propaganda. They ruined that. They've ruined Fox News. Now they're ruining the Wall Street Journal. So I get my news from a lot of places, me again. I've said that many, many times. I currently have subscriptions to News 24, to Times Live, to New York Times, Washington Post, Epoch Times, Washington Times, and a host of others. Love how the temps drop to 13 with the heavy rains. Okay, well, the temperature here is pretty chilly here. Where's the temperature at? Where did the temperature go? So it's got the humidity. I don't care about the humidity. I want the temperature. What the hell? Anyway, Windows has been acting up. They did an update and rebooted my computer last night. Things are working a little bit better now, but from past week, it's been acting strange. All the slander on DA. Okay, who will save South Africa? It's not the biggest. What slander? What slander? It's not slander if it's factual. 19 degrees in West Rand. Ouch. That's kind of warm. It's nice, though. Burkina Faso. What's going on there? Daily Maverick gone very... Yeah, the Daily Maverick is woke. They've lost the plot. Yeah. I used to say that they were a very good publication. The Mail and Guardian was that way a long time ago, too. They're gone, too. Yeah, it's just this leftist nonsense just keeps coming. Recently saw some pics of Saudi Arabia. It's one of the most ugly and nightmare cities I've ever seen. Yeah, I've seen some pretty ugly cities in my lifetime, but I've never been, obviously, because can't go there. I'm surprised that fewer people, or so few people, are actually caring about this George situation. Or maybe it's just my channel. People aren't watching my channel. That's probably what it is. I think Ronaldo's getting some views on his, so that's unfortunate. I have a new subscriber to my Substack. I haven't even published anything. Someone must have found me. Oh, that's someone I know. Yep, my Substack. I need to post something new on the Substack. Anyway, group term life. I'm getting a term life deal from VFW membership. 20,000 life insurance coverage, but it's not cheap. If you're age 50 to 64, let's see what they're going to charge. You cannot be turned down. Rates. Okay. If you want $20,000 and you're 50 to 59, 55 to 59, it's $31.80 a month. $31.80 a month for $20,000 of coverage. That is $360 a year. 10 years is $3,600. Well, that's actually not bad. $31 a month for $20,000. If I joined when I was 50 to 54, I could have got it for $18 a month. But there's a $3.50 administrative fee, a $3 credit card fee, and a $1.25 administrative fee for automatic bank deduction. If you go 80 years of age, the rate just dropped. You only get $5,000 payout. So if you buy it now and you pay until you're 80, you will have paid more than you get out of it. That's what I call a scam. The Van Doren family, never heard of them. Never heard of them. Who is the Van Doren family? Yesterday was Remembrance Day, Veterans Day here in the United States, and I read a message to veterans. I don't know if that's what my 5 pence is talking about. Debbie mowed the lawn today. Yeah, awkward land situation in Georgia is very concerning. It is to me, awkward land. I'm shocked that so few people watched it. Ronaldo had like 6,700 views on his video. Let's go check out Ronaldo and see if he's... Oh. Huh.
President, the American government has been outspoken that they are comfortable with South Africa's position of non-alignment, that they actually prefer this position of non-alignment by the South African government. The problem with that is that we are, like you've said, we are ideologically aligned to the so-called global south, but rather not really the global south, because within the global south, you have role players like India and Brazil.
Yeah, that's Conscious Caracal. I didn't know he was live right now. Didn't know that. Conscious Caracal's got some guy on, and I only heard a little bit. He's from Solidarity, but I disagree 100% with his statement. The United States has not stated that we're comfortable with South Africa's nine-line approach. Where did he get that from? Mar-a-Lago is a robot dog patrolling premises. DA's become too woke, can't stand them anymore, says awkwardly. On Light Rain says, saw my first in real life robot lawnmower to neighbors. Yeah, no, I've seen them. Used to read The Nation. I don't read that. Don't read that. All right, let me just check on something here real quick. I'm going to want to adjust something we're working on right here. So you get directed over there. Okay. Customization. Yeah, so I don't know what happened with Ronaldo. He was a member and now he's not a member. What's going on there? Anyway, yeah, so Mark Van Doren wrote The Nation back. Okay, still don't know this. Prepared to be ruled upon by... Anyway, all right, folks. Yeah, so I think that's good enough for today, right? We've covered the news. I've answered your questions. People like slander the DA all the time. So what? For MK, who's slandering the DA, Pablo? You're not stating who. You keep saying that, but you're not stating who. All right, I need to go get a vitamin B12 test. See if I'm lacking B12. Hope that's what it is. Can't afford anymore. Unemployed. Can't afford what? Who's unemployed? Ronaldo? Anyway, you're welcome, Andre. You guys have a good day, and I'll see you later on. I've got some errands to run around. Have a good day. Be safe. And if anything breaks, I'll let you, breaking news, that is, I'll let you know. I'll come back with a story. So cheers, everybody. All right. Thanks for being here. God bless and have a very good day. Really appreciate your support for the channel and for being here. Hit the like button. We're only 75. Cheers.